Thanks for joining us here for This Week in Agribusiness. As you all well know, agriculture is not an industry that stands still very long. We're always changing, whether it's the crops we're growing in the fields or the technologies we use to produce those crops. We also see changes happen at the people level. Our friend LORRIE Boyer, farm director at KSIR in Brush, Colorado, recently had a chance to explore one of those personnel changes at a sale barn right there in her hometown of Brush, Colorado.
Livestock Exchange is one of our premier sale barns here in Northeast Colorado.
Growing up with a grandfather who was a cattle buyer and parents who owned a dairy, Robin Varlman was destined to spend her career in the sale barn business. She spent many weekends working at Livestock Exchange, first as a penback, and later she worked as a clerk and went on to be the manager. 10 years later, she became the owner. And being a woman owner of a sale barn has had its challenges.
It is challenging, Lori. The first thing I want to say is I think you find the right person for the right job, whether you be a woman or a man. If you were given that God-given talent to do what you're supposed to do and you find that field, then you will excel. The challenge that you come is not usually within yourself, but it's within the people looking at you and a woman as seeing you are in an agriculture world, you're in a man's world. I actually had, when I bought it, I'll never forget my first sale. I had a gentleman come in and said, you know, Robin, he says, I like you, I've known you for years. He says, but you're in a man's world, you're not going to make it. I was like, oh, that's just really nice to start out the first sale with. But 3 years later, that man came back to me and said, man, I need to apologize to you up and down. He says, you're doing a phenomenal job, fantastic, good job, keep the good work up. So it's just I think people put you in a status of maybe that's not where we should be, but ultimately, you know, you go where you're driven.
Varlman is very community-minded as she hosts a yearly meet-in event and partners with other businesses who also operate out of her facility. Livestock Exchange has been a part of the Brush community for the past 55 years. For This Week in Agribusiness, I'm LORRIE Boyer.
Well, thank you, LORRIE. It's fantastic to see new faces coming into agriculture to shake things up. We wish our cattle producers the best of luck in 2023. Hopefully, that moisture will come and we can keep those pastures in good shape.